Welcome to Living a Full Life podcast. Join us as we explore health topics that encourage raising healthy children, living a healthy life, and living the best life possible. Now, here's your host.
People are obsessed with losing weight, but very few are actually getting healthier. You can lose weight and still be metabolically unhealthy, and that's the real problem. Are you chasing a smaller body or a stronger metabolism? Welcome back to Living a Full Life podcast. I'm Dr. Enrico Dolcicore, and today I want to simplify metabolic health so you can understand what actually drives energy, fat loss, hormones, and longevity. We're well into February. The new jive of the podcast has taken off. We've had the most downloads and listeners in 2026 than ever before, so that's pretty neat. So I'm going to keep that tone of hard knock, real fact checking. I think you like it. I didn't know the Joe Rogan type energy of no BS was a good thing, but we'll try not to swear much on it as well. So I like that. That's my personality. I've kept it low key over the last 3 years to be PC, to just keep everyone happy. But when you're not happy, you can't please other people. So it's not my real self. This is my real self, being very real. My kids get this. This is the dad that they have. He's very real. He's very fact driven. He's evidence based. And I'm going to do that for you guys too. Not that you're my kids, but that's what we're going to keep doing here. So metabolism versus weight loss. It's February. Everyone that made the New Year's resolution at the gym, I'm already starting to get my parking spots back. You all failed. Thank you. Go home, sit down, stay fat. The 1 in 20 that actually saw some results and lost 5 or 6 pounds in January, they're keeping their motivation going. And the other 98% of Americans will stay fat. So that's what happens every single year. And it's because we just don't define what we're truly chasing. It's not the bikini body for July. You've been trying to do that for 20 years. You still should not wear a bikini. The fact of the matter is this. We need to understand what we're chasing, and it comes to our metabolism. And metabolic syndrome is like a hidden, non-talked about thing. It's kind of like autoimmune. Yeah, we've heard it. Oh, you have autoimmune. They're like, well, great. Okay, well, what do I do about it? Well, it's a big, hairy cloud, gray cloud that we really don't know how to diagnose or treat. Same thing with metabolic syndrome. Oh, you have metabolic syndrome. Okay, well, what do we do? Well, it's a mix mosh of A1C, glucose, insulin, pancreas, liver, digestion, gut issues. And as a doctor, I really don't know where to start. That's the truth. That's what these conditions are. And if we understand it, maybe we can take health into our own hands, because every single person I've helped over my 20-year career has taken their health into their own hands. I sometimes get credit for it. They're like, Doc, you're the best. You're great. I'm like, well, you did the work. You did it. And you deserve the credit, not me. I've been repeating the same thing to the same 2,000 to probably 20,000 people. And the 2,000 get success and the 18,000 stay fat. It's just repetition. That's why I can say this, no problem. It doesn't even faze me at all. Americans are fat. It's just the way it is. The metabolic health understanding that we need to get to is blood sugar stability, insulin sensitivity, inflammation levels, hormone balance, and nervous system regulation. Sounds easy, but these things all have components to them that make up our metabolism. Most Americans and Canadians and North Americans particularly, Europe is starting to fall down that way too, because of diet, because of the way we eat, have metabolic syndrome by the age of 8 years old. It starts at about 1, which is ridiculous. 2, it starts at about 2 years of age. What are the first things American couples give their children? Fresh avocado and beef? No. What do they give them? Cheerios. Cheerios is one of the first foods, solids, that your babies eat. I have so many bruises on my head from hitting it off a wall, watching families do this. It's unbelievable. So Cheerios is the first thing. Then a fruit stick, like a gummy stick. I don't want to go down the list of stuff, but food before 1 is just for fun. You're not giving kids food before 1. What should they have? Breast milk until the age of 4. I mean, no one wants to talk about this stuff. Moms don't want to even think about that. They're like, wait, 4 months? No, 4 years old, 48 months. 2 is the goal. 24 months is the goal, but this isn't about that. This is about metabolic syndrome. So we build this bad gut by the age of 2 years of age because they've been processed Cheerios, processed food, hydrogenated oils, rancid oils, shelved foods, boxed foods, and then, some fruits and vegetables start getting introduced. And that's the start of this. Then we've got Pop-Tarts, muffins, pancakes, cakes, flapjacks, toaster strudels, cinnamon rolls. What else do we have for breakfast? We're only on breakfast, by the way. Lucky Charms. Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going. This is how we start our 3-year-old, our 4-year-old, our first grader for breakfast. Forget lunch, forget dinner, forget snacks. This is going to be a depressing episode. By the time they're in 3rd grade, they have metabolic syndrome because of high insulin sensitivity. Their insulin has just been constantly bombarded. They may have symptoms. They may actually be overweight by 8. Maybe they're not. But this will all lead to a very miserable adulthood for them. So that's where it all starts. The point of this is adults listen to this podcast. So when you're like, man, where did I go wrong? It could have been your childhood, not 100% your fault. I do I used to do workshops all the time in my office in person. Now everything's virtual. But people would come in and the dad would be like, man, my kid is just so picky with food. All they eat is like a Pop-Tart for breakfast because it's crispy and crunchy and they can hold it, and like chicken nuggets and French fries. What do I do? I'm like, where did they buy the Pop-Tart? Did your 7-year-old get in your car, drive to the grocery store, walk in, said, oh, these look nice, went, checked out, sat in the parking lot, took a bite of one, like, oh, I like this. And then the next morning, put it in the toaster, ate it. And it's like, hey, Dad, you know what? I really like these Pop-Tarts. These are cool. Can we continue buying them? Who bought them for your child? And the dad, he was like, okay, man. He put his hands up like he was getting arrested. He's like, oh okay, I get the point. I'm like, okay, you did this. You bought it. You went to the store, you bought it. How do your kids know that Skittles taste good? How do your kids know that they like Skittles? Whose fault is that? No, we went trick-or-treating one year and they had it, and I let them, why'd you let them have it? You're the guardian of your children. Okay, I'm getting out of control. So anyways, this is where it all starts. So don't blame yourself. This is the culture we're in. Yes, have I had Skittles before? Yeah, I love Twizzlers. I don't buy them. I don't eat them a lot, but you give me a bag of Twizzlers, I probably won't share, and the whole bag will be gone. It's not like a 1 or 2 thing. That's metabolic syndrome. Once you start eating, I know. I've dealt with this. I lived it. I live it. I will forever live it. It's metabolic destroyed. Metabolic system completely destroyed. You're never getting it back. You're never going to be a fine-tuned metabolism machine ever again. It's gone. And you gotta understand that and move forward and be like, oh, if I don't have that ability, if I don't have that superpower anymore, I should stop trying to jump off the buildings to fly because I no longer can fly, right? It's just a smart thing to do. And that's what we need to understand for men. Now, what is it? The blood sugar instability at a young age and creating insulin sensitivity, which is almost impossible to reverse. Inflammation levels go up. Hormone balance is a cascade problem because of inflammation as the years go by. By the time we're in puberty and teenage years, we have hormone issues, and puberty can be painful. Puberty can be cumbersome. And then by the time we're an adult, now we have swings and a whole bunch of metabolic stuff going on and endocrine stuff going on. Your metabolism isn't just about calories. It's the operating system of your body. The nervous system influences our metabolism. Stress makes more cortisol. Cortisol tells fat to store in the storage bins, and that fat storage is what inflammation is. Swelling of fat cells is inflammation. It's global inflammation in your body. It's the result of storing fat. So the weight loss culture has failed people for decades. From the South Beach diet to the Atkins diet, keto. I mean, there's diets coming out all the time. Whole30, paleo, now it's carnivore. It's the recycling of the same BS all the time. The carnivore people are eating straight red meat 3-4 times a day, 3 meals a day. Sign them up for colon cancer. Just put them on the waiting list. You cannot consume that much, and as months go by and years go by, and expect your digestive system to keep up with that. I'm not against beef, or I'm not against red meat. I'm just like, that's a lot. So, and we've showed it in the Atkins and the keto diet and people eating bacon all the time and what it did. It's an issue. It's an issue. You can't just fix it. It's not that simple as just buying a book and being like, yeah, I believe in this religion. That's what it is. Just a book of trying to determine facts. It's crash dieting, which slows down our metabolism. Now, the baby boomers, Gen X, even millennials, with the yo-yoing of diets and going through their life, and now they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s and wondering what is going on. Can't lose weight. Yeah, because you're at the bottom of the barrel now for your metabolism. The crash dieting slows our metabolism each time we do it. Chronic under eating for long periods of time. You know, many people I help in our weight loss program eat 12 to 1,500 calories a day, and they are like 70 pounds overweight. I'm like, how can you eat such low calorie and still be overweight? I'm asking them that. I'm not confused about it. I know exactly what's going on. They have metabolic syndrome. Then they're like, I got to start exercising. And what do? They don't lift anything heavy because, well, that's exhausting and that's effort. What are we going to do? Hop on the treadmill for an hour. That's excessive cardio. So excessive cardio increases our stress hormones. Or I'm going to go running. I'm going to be a runner. It helps me stress relieve. Running 10 miles is crazy. You're not a gazelle. You're a human. Scale weight versus real health markers is what matters. Skinny doesn't automatically mean healthy. We know this. And exhausted isn't a badge of honor. Please remember those two things. If you've ever volunteered at a hospice, you'll understand that skinny does not mean healthy. Signs that your metabolic health might be off. Now, this is where we listen up. Some examples are afternoon crashes, the 1, 2, 3 p.m. That's what I'm talking about. The 2 o'clock, you're like, I'm exhausted. Poor sleep. People are just like, oh man, I sleep like crap. Well, that's a metabolic issue. Stubborn belly fat. You start working out. I wish I could stand up and take my shirt off so you guys can watch it on YouTube. You got all, muscle. I've been putting on muscle for 3 years. I'm probably closest to the best shape I've ever been. And my belly looks like I eat tacos every day. It's stubborn. And I'm 42. I get it. It's not as easy as I was when I was 23. But you look at the tummy like, man, all this work. But boy, the belly just likes to hang on to that. That's metabolic syndrome. Brain fog, sugar cravings, cold hands and feet all the time, or a plateau despite dieting. How can you get on a diet and plateau on weight? That is a severe metabolic disorder. So self-assess that. Any of those, a combination of those, or all of those are definite signs of metabolic syndrome. So here is how we rebuild as much as we can. Think you're born with this beautiful 100-story empire building metabolic system, as a baby, as a 2-year-old or as a 2-month-old. You're eating pure breast milk, your gut's being lined with pure protein, you're getting your hands in the dirt, you're crawling on the floor, you're sticking your hands in your mouth, you're getting great flora from the dog, the cat, a dirty house. You're ingesting your environment to build your gut flora. It's important. You build all this, and now you've got some teeth, and you're like, well, let's eat. And your parents give you Cheerios or Rice Krispies or chips or you know what I'm saying? Instead of avocado and oranges and strawberries and beef and chicken. And so you do this, right? The 5 pillars. This is what we have to do. Number 1. So you have this building, this Empire State Building that got bulldozed in your youth. It did. It got bulldozed. It got down to the ground. Some of you are at 0. All the rubble's gone. You need to rebuild, like a metabolic disaster. Others were down to the 14th floor. We've got a foundation and we want to rebuild this. We'll never get to the 100-story building again, but maybe we want to build another 14 floors on this and have a strong 28-story building as our metabolism. These are my analogies, by the way. This is how I get through life. Number one, stabilize our blood sugar for long periods of time, months, years, not a week of juice fasting. Months. You need to stay. You buy a glucose monitor for $79.99 a month. It has an app. You wear this thing for 3 months. I want to see you stabilize your blood sugar for 90 days straight. 90 days straight. In that learning phase, what you should do is learn how it spikes. So when you do have the spikes, you're like, dang it, that does it for me? Waking up in the morning, having oatmeal, blueberries, and yogurt spikes my blood sugar? Why? I've been doing that for 16 years. That's been my breakfast staple. And you realize, what the heck? And then all you have to do is some research, switch your oats to something else, or get rid of oats because you're gluten intolerant or whatever it may be, or you're grain intolerant because it spikes your insulin, and you switch to something else, granola or whatever. No, granola is worse, by the way. These are just examples. And you realize, holy smokes, I thought something healthy was good for me. It was spiking my blood sugar. And you learn. And in those 90 days, you learn. You're like, man, that, and that were things that were just throwing me off. And you learn that. And what you learn is that protein first at every meal stabilizes your blood sugar. You focus your breakfast. You're like, what is the protein in the middle of my plate? For lunch, what's the protein in the middle of my plate? And for dinner, what's the protein in the middle of my plate? You can be vegetarian, you can be vegan, whatever it is. That rule applies to everyone. Protein first. And avoid the constant snacking. I don't know anyone that just snacks on meat sticks all day. I mean, not very many people do that. So snacking usually involves carbohydrates, and those carbohydrates or fruits in the middle of the day on an empty stomach can spike insulin. Number two, building muscle. The foundation of all of this is lean muscle. The more lean muscle you have, the bigger the boilermakers of the metabolic system become. You just end up burning and utilizing more energy to just live life, just to get up and walk. If you're heavier with lean muscle mass, I am more trim now than I was at 100. I'm 193 pounds right now. 173 pounds was my lowest in 2005. I was 22. Lowest. Now it's college. That's pizza and beer on the weekends. That's not a good, healthy diet. And I am trimmer now than I was there. Trimmer, smaller, trimmer, tighter, and I weigh almost 20 pounds more than I did then. I did not have this much muscle as I did when I was 23. And that makes you think a little different. Just walking, and I couldn't do a chin-up. I just came from the gym this morning, did 33 straight chin-ups, pull-ups, right? I mean, I'm not bragging. I'm just proud of myself for developing that much strength. The point of it is it takes time. And now I think about it, I'm walking around as a truck instead of a car now. So it's the same thing. I'm still driving 30 miles an hour in the school zones. I'm still getting to my work at the same time. It takes me 10 minutes to drive to work. But instead of a little car, I'm a truck. And it's different inertia, different force. I'm going to need more fuel to drive the truck. And I'm going to consume more fuel. And I'm going to be more efficient at burning that fuel too. Make sense? That is the difference. So that's why we want to build muscle. It's your metabolic currency. The nervous system regulation, how this whole thing is controlled is by stress management. Our nervous system is there. It's working for you every second of every day of your life till the day you die. It is there as a superhighway from the brain to the body to the brain, back and forth. Really, the body to the brain to the gut to the brain, talking back and forth. It does this faster than any fiber optic system in the world. And stress management is the key component to a healthy nervous system. Chiropractic adjustments directly influence the nervous system. I've seen it firsthand for 20 years and how it can get people from a high cortisol state to a normal state within a week or two just by getting adjusted, because they can't change their environment. Their job is the same, their household is the same, their travel commute is the same, their finances are the same, the stress is there, they don't know what to do. All they do is hire a chiropractor and they're like, whatever, I'll do this for a few weeks and see how I feel. And they feel better. That's why. It's because the nervous system starts to regulate better. Breathing, walking, and sunlight. Your nervous system needs it, just like a plant. You need to get that direct photonic energy on your skin. You need to walk to pump your venous system, your veins, and your lymphatic system and your cerebral spinal fluid properly through your body. The fluids need to move. If you park that truck in the garage for 3 months and don't move it, there's a chance it won't start 90 days later, even if it's a brand new Ford F-150. Why won't it start? The oil's lagged, the spark plug hasn't been used in a while. It might take a few turns to get that thing to spark. When you sit a car for too long, it sometimes doesn't start. The battery might be dead. There might be a small leakage there. Whatever ends up happening, those are the things that help us move. And breathing is really important too for oxygen flow, oxygen and carbon dioxide expellation. Sleep optimization. This should be your part-time job, trying to figure out how to optimize your sleep. Dark room, consistent schedule, stop doom scrolling right before night. That blue light right before you close your eyes makes it difficult to fall into the proper cyclical fashion of sleep, of REM, and deep sleep. Reduce the hidden inflammation in your life. Processed foods, environmental toxins, and overtraining. Those are the three main things that cause increased inflammation in the people that I see today. The overtraining is for the healthy crowd that have been trying to get healthier, and they hit plateaus and they're like, why? I'm like, because you're working out way too hard and way too long. Okay. The mistakes I see clinically that I think most people, if they just had the knowledge, could see themselves as well is my patients are under eating protein. That's why their calories are lower and they're like, I can't lose weight. They're getting 20 or 30 grams a day. Like, I mean, boggling low numbers. Because I sit there, I'm like, one chicken breast is like 30 grams, 35 grams of protein, like 6 ounces of chicken. How are you getting less than that through an entire day? They're like, I don't like chicken. I'm like, well, you don't have to eat chicken. Where are you getting your protein from? You need to get some protein from that. How are you doing that? I aim for 200 grams a day. And it's tough. It's hard. It's a lot of food. But when you do that, there's not much room for anything else. There's not much room for cereal snacks or grabbing some, Cheez-Its or goldfish crackers or cheese or, there's no more room in my diet to do that because I'm so protein centric. Over relying on supplements. There are no supplements that are going to help you lose weight. You got to start with these fundamentals first to recover your metabolism. There's nothing to help stimulate your metabolism or do anything like that. We've learned through the 90s, the ephedrine, the things that increase your heart rate to burn fat. I mean, people are having heart attacks, caffeine, drinking more caffeine. These are not good advice to follow at all. No supplement or stimulant is going to repair your metabolic system. It's only going to stimulate maybe a little bit, and you're not going to see much effect from it. Ignoring recovery. If you do train, you got to recover too. You got to rest, not just sleep, but even having rest days, just full days where you're giving your tendons and your muscles a chance to just relax. Overtraining can hurt you. Thinking more cardio equals faster results. I wish people that's not how you lose weight. That's not how you lose weight. Going for 10,000 steps a day for walks, that does work. Low stress on the body, comfortable speed, comfortable on your joints. You can do it every single day because you're not stressing the system. That does. So I hope this podcast lands for many of you and what the metabolic system is. Here's some action steps that you can do. And this is all you need to remember for today. Eat protein at every meal. Walk outside daily. Lift weights 3 to 4 times a week. Resistance bands, weights, anything with resistance. Set up a consistent bedtime and reduce ultra processed snacks. If it comes in a box, in a bag, if it's shelf stable is what I say. If it can stay on a grocery shelf for weeks, it's processed. There's nothing on earth that's whole food that can sit on a shelf for more than a few days or a week without spoiling. It's going to spoil. That's what we're talking about. Food that spoils has whole components to it. Food that doesn't has very little components to it. Metabolic health isn't about looking perfect. It has nothing to do with your looks. It's about having the energy and resilience to live fully. Get restful sleep, have energy at 4 p.m., playing with your grandkids, going on the weekends, going for that second walk for the day, playing with the dog, staying up and watching a movie. living life, enjoying life. That's what your metabolic system is all about. All right. And we're growing this podcast. And I think you guys are sharing these episodes, which is, I was like, man, there's been a huge spike here in the last few weeks. I'm like, this is fantastic. Keep sharing it and send me information, whatever you want to learn about. If I don't know about it, I probably won't do a podcast on it. But if I have some background in it, I'll do some research and I'll put together a great 20-minute podcast for you guys that you can listen to. Another tip for podcasts, speed them up. You know how you listen to everything at 1.0 speed? Speed them up to 1.2 or 1.5. I'll sound a little funny like a gerbil, but you can get these podcasts done in 12 minutes instead of 20, which is super cool. Saves you some time there as well. Have a great week. Stay well. Stay healthy. I'm going to catch you next week, just like I always do. Take care.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Living a Full Life podcast. If you're enjoying the show, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.